This is Support is Sexy, episode 331. You have to be willing to unplug. Welcome to Support is Sexy. I'm your host, Elayne Fluker, entrepreneur, author, and founder of Chic Rebellion Media. 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, I interview inspiring women entrepreneurs who share their wins and their lessons to help you take your business and your life to the next level and create something sexy. Here we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Support is Sexy. I'm so happy to have you here. It just would not be the same without you. And today I wanted to talk to you for a quick second about unplugging. And if you'll notice, this episode might sound a little bit different, or maybe not if I work my mastering editing skills, but it might sound a little bit different because I am unplugged to an extent. And sometimes you just have to unplug. I'm unplugged because I'm away from my computer and my normal setup. So I am actually recording this on my phone, trying something new, improvising, but being committed to staying unplugged and away from the computer for a while. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but I get to the point where usually I don't do this consciously. I'm starting to do it more, or going to make sure I do it more. Be more conscious about unplugging, taking, whether it's a day, maybe you can't take a full day away or you're not ready for that just yet, but taking a day away from screen time, taking a weekend away from screen time, or taking an hour away from screen time, just stepping away from it all. We look at our phones, our computers, our televisions, our everything so much. I know I certainly do, and you probably do too, that it can become overwhelming, that even when you're away from it, you're thinking about it, meaning the emails and the text messages and all these other things that we find or see through our screens, right? So sometimes you have to pause and unplug. And I want you to be more aware of that too. Don't be like me and get to the point where you have an incredible headache that stops you from looking at any screens, which is what has happened in the past few days, which threw me off schedule with the podcast and some other things. And I had other things to do that I had to look at the screen. Anyway, not a sob story. It's just a reminder that, it comes in the whisper at first, they say, then it's a tap on the shoulder, and then you hit a brick wall. Well, I didn't hit a brick wall, but it was a tap on the shoulder to say, you have to stop, you have to slow down, you have to take a break away from the screens. And, think about it. We don't really realize it, but think about how much emails, social media, and messages are really dictating your day, right? They dictate your day and they result in a certain mood even for you. It's such a part of our lives now that we don't even think about. But how often do you get an email from a friend or someone or a request, which is fine and wonderful. But if you, for example, look at those things first thing in the morning, that could totally send your day in a completely different direction, because usually an email is a request from someone for something, information, contact, or they're getting back to you about a request that you made. So those are the kind of things that usually come through email. Why not take some time away from that or move that to later in your day so you're not doing that first thing in the morning? And then, of course, social media, we love it. But think about social media and how it might not dictate your day, but it could, and there has been science to show that it does, influence your mood. So I personally have had to take a step away from Facebook, for example, with the Me Too post, which I participated in and didn't tell my story, but I supported and said Me Too. So if you don't know about that, you can look up what's going on with the Me Too hashtag. Just a warning, it could be something that's triggering for anyone that's experienced sexual harassment or sexual assault. That said, it's something that is triggering for a lot of people, myself included. Don't want to see that over and over again, even though I understand the purpose of it. So even though I support it, I had to step away. And we have to be able to step away, unplug. It's all a form of self-care, which we talk about often, but be willing to do that for yourself in whatever way that looks like. So unplug doesn't just mean screens. Of course, I'm talking about that, but it also means just stepping away or creating space just for you. Now, for those of you with children, we love the babies. Those of you with children, I know it can look a little different for you. Maybe there are reasons you have to have your phone or reasons that you don't have your own sort of space and time as much maybe as you want to. But even something I've been hearing a lot of women talk about recently who have children, I've heard it before, but something I'm starting to share more even with friends, creating even the half an hour in the morning before everybody else gets up. your own quiet time. I know sometimes you might get to bed later than normal, or you've been working on the business or at your career later at night than you plan to. And the last thing you want to think about is getting up earlier than anybody, getting up, period, right? But think about how you'll feel if you get to set your day. Anything else can happen during the day, but if you just had that half hour to think or to meditate or to just be quiet. I know a lot of friends, and I'm certainly like this as an introvert, but a lot of my friends with children say they just wish for the time, or they remember the time when they could just personally be quiet, not have to answer any questions or do anything. Of course, they love their children. But even especially if you're a woman who has children and you work, you answer questions all day at the office or your business or whatever it is, and then you come home and answer tons of questions at home, right? So during the mornings could be the time where you create quiet time for yourself. Now, people might say, well, I could do it at night, but at night you're going to be so sleepy. We're talking about how to create the best space for your day, how to unplug in your own way so you can own your day. You want to own your day. You might not be able to decide which way the day goes because things happen, but own your day. So for all of us, let's take some time to unplug. Like I said, don't be like me and have to get to the point where you have an incredible headache and you can't do anything. Be more conscious about it. Unplug. Take care of yourself. All right. So thank you so much for listening again. I hope this sounds good. Hopefully it sounds okay. You'll understand, and you'll understand why it sounds this way, because I'm unplugged, but I'm still going to record and do the things I need to do to share the message with you, to share the journey with you. And as always, I appreciate you being here. So now, until next time, you know what to do. Go out there, create something sexy, unplug and relax, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.